Picture this. You didn't lose her in a fight, you lost her in silence. One day she felt close, the next day she felt gone. No explanation, no goodbye, just distance. And what hurts most isn't that she pulled away, it's that you still don't know why. What I'm about to tell you will change how you see love forever. Alternative, darker, colder. Picture this. She didn't stop loving you. She stopped feeling safe loving you. And no one ever warned you that love can disappear the moment it feels too real. Alternative, soft but haunting. Picture this. You gave her honesty, she gave you distance. And somewhere between those two, everything broke. It's late, the room is quiet, and you're holding memories instead of sleep, wondering how something that felt so real slipped through your hands, without a fight, without a warning, without even a clear ending. One moment she looked at you like you mattered, like you were chosen, like you were safe, and then suddenly her voice changed. Her replies slowed, her warmth cooled, and you were left standing in the same place while everything else moved away from you. You didn't stop showing up, you didn't stop caring, you didn't suddenly become someone else. And that's what breaks a man, my friend, because the confusion eats at you more than rejection ever could. You ask yourself what you did wrong, you replay conversations, you analyze tone, timing, words, silence, until your mind becomes a battlefield you can't escape. But what no one prepares you for is this truth. When love deepens too quickly, fear replaces desire, and the human brain, especially one wired for emotional survival, doesn't seek closeness, it seeks control. Her dopamine didn't disappear, it shifted. The thrill of uncertainty faded, the comfort of safety arrived, and with it came a biological alarm she doesn't consciously understand. Her nervous system feels exposed, vulnerable, at risk of loss, so it activates an emotional mechanism that pulls her back, not because she stopped feeling, but because she felt too much. This is where most men fail, not because they are weak, but because they were never taught restraint. They chase reassurance, they explain themselves, they try harder, they give more, believing love is built through effort, when in reality attraction is maintained through emotional stability. I've watched good men slowly lose their footing, men who led their lives with strength until intimacy softened their edges, men who confused consistency with security, availability with value, honesty with safety. And in the silent marketplace of attraction, value collapses when a man's emotional center moves outside himself. She doesn't plan this. She doesn't sit there plotting distance. Her brain chemistry simply responds to imbalance. When you lean in emotionally and she senses that losing her would destroy you, respect quietly erodes, desire weakens, and distance feels safer than closeness. This isn't about cruelty, brother. It's about wiring. It's about survival instincts dressed up as modern love. The war isn't loud, it's subtle. It's fought in pauses, delayed messages, unexplained silence, and the man who reacts emotionally loses ground every time. The bitter truth is that love doesn't stay alive through intensity or reassurance. It survives through polarity, through calm presence, through a man who remains rooted, even when uncertainty arrives. The moment you stop trying to be chosen, the moment you stop proving your worth, the moment you remain steady instead of reactive, that is when the balance shifts. And until you learn that love isn't something you hold tighter, but something you allow to breathe without fear, this cycle will repeat, again and again, with every woman who gets close enough to matter. Before you close this video, I want you to understand something important, brother. This was never about blaming women, and it was never about hating love. This was about waking up. Because the world teaches men to chase, to explain, to overgive, to bleed emotionally in the name of connection, and then act surprised when they're left confused and empty. If you felt discarded, ignored, or quietly replaced, it doesn't mean you were weak. It means you were uninformed. Love today is a battlefield of psychology, biology, and emotional leverage, and no one hands men the map. But now you've seen it. Now you know that your value doesn't come from how much you give, how deeply you feel, or how hard you try to be chosen. Your value comes from stability, self-respect, and the ability to remain grounded when emotions rise. You don't need to become cold. You don't need to become cruel. You need to become centered. Because the man who can love without losing himself is the man who is never abandoned emotionally. And if someone still walks away after that, let them. Not with anger, not with bitterness. B. But with the quiet confidence of a man who knows his worth was never dependent on being needed. Carry this truth with you, not as armor, but as clarity. And remember, the right connection doesn't demand your collapse to survive.